Hello everyone. In this video, I will explain how inheritance and polymorphism are used in the bank system. I will also explain how a single method can perform different transactions, what changes are needed to add new transaction types, and the advantages of inheritance and polymorphism. So, inheritance in this system. So, in this system, inheritance is used to represent different types of transaction. We have base class called something transaction and different transaction types such as deposit transaction, withdraw transaction, and transfer transaction. So all these classes inherit from the base transaction class. This means they share common properties like amount, account, and basic methods, but each transaction type can have its own specific behavior. So instead of writing separate unrelated code, we reuse and extend the base class. This means inheritance allows us to define a general structure once and reuse it for multiple transaction types. So let's come to the polymorphism part. Polymorphism means, what does it mean? It means same method name but different behavior. So in this system, each transaction class overrides a common method, usually like execute. So if I go to the transaction class, here we can see there's a virtual method execute. So each the three types of different classes overrides this method. So if I go to the deposit transaction, here we can see, and if I go to withdraw transaction and then transfer transaction, even though the method name is same, their behavior is different for all these three classes. So the system called execute without knowing which transaction it is, so the correct version runs automatically. So how one method handles all the transactions? This is possible because of polymorphism. For example, if we see here, yes, for example, transaction T equals to new, if we see here, transaction T equals to new deposit transaction T dot execute, and transaction T is equal to then withdraw transaction, and same for the transfer transaction. The variable type is transaction, but the actual object decides the behavior. So the same method call works for all the transaction types. So adding a new transaction type, if we want to add a new transaction, for example interest transaction, we don't change the existing code, we just create a new class, inherit from transaction, overrides the execute method, and the system will automatically support it. So what are the advantages of inheritance? Code reuse, common logic is written once, reduce duplication, easy to extend system, improves organization. So inheritance helps reuse and structure code effectively. So what are the advantages of polymorphism? Cleaner code, no need for multiple if-else, flexibility, works with different objects, scalability, and runtime decision making. So inheritance helps us to reuse and structure code, while polymorphisms allow one method to perform different action based on the object type. They make the system flexible, scalable, and easy to maintain. Thank you.